The guy who played Pennywise shows up to your Airbnb. He is perfectly friendly. He offers you wine. He takes the couch. We're Flix in a minute, and in this Barbarian review, we are going to tell you why that setup gets under your skin before anything has even happened yet. Barbarian is a 2022 horror film written and directed by Cregger, starring Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. It runs a surprisingly fast 1 hour and 42 minutes, and it's earned a solid rated R. For some, it can be a trigger warning. We are going to get to whether the whole thing holds together. Stay with us on that. But we have to get this out of the way. Barbarian is a fucked up movie, and we mean that as a compliment. Peel away the gore and the oh shit moments, and you have a film that is genuinely saying something about violation and who gets believed when they raise the alarm. This is not a Lifetime Channel cautionary tale. Oh hell no, this is in your face, dare you to look me in the eye crazy, and we absolutely loved it. Here's the spoiler-free breakdown. Tess, a documentary researcher played by Campbell, and honestly she carries this story, shows up at an Airbnb in Detroit only to find it already occupied by a man named Keith because of a double booking error. Keith does set off the creeper detector a little, but he turns out to be chill. Through some back and forth, Tess agrees to stay the night. Keith insists she take the bedroom and he will take the couch, because that right there is what any gentleman would do. Cregger came up in sketch comedy with the whitest kids you know, and that timing is all over this film. Watch how he builds dread through something as simple as Keith offering Tess a glass of wine. He opens the bottle in front of her first, so she can see he does not tamper with it. Every small, correct thing a non-threatening person would do, and none of it helps. Because you are sitting there watching Pennywise make her tea, and your skin is crawling the entire time. Real terror lives in the space between the obvious scares. Cregger knows that, and he squeezes it. This is not elevated horror trying to sound smart about being scary. This is horror that is absolutely batshit and proud of it while still having something running underneath. The genius of this film is how it destroys your expectations at the exact moment you think you have figured it out. What starts as a maybe stalker thriller turns into something else entirely, and the moment you adjust to that, it shifts again into territory that is genuinely shocking. The film moves between time periods and character perspectives in ways that keep you off balance on purpose. Each section pulls back another layer, building toward a climax that is chaotic and memorable and hard to shake. Georgina Campbell deserves real credit for grounding all of this. Her Tess makes smart decisions when she can and believable mistakes when the pressure demands it. When she sees something disturbing and backs away slowly, that is smart. When she ends up pulled back into danger, that is frustrating, but you believe it. Campbell carries vulnerability and strength at the same time in a way that makes you root for her the whole ride. A timeline jump introduces us to A.J. Gilbride, a Hollywood actor played by Justin Long who is dealing with sexual assault allegations. This is the film's sharpest pivot and its boldest move. Long has spent a career playing the likable everyman. Here he throws himself into being genuinely despicable. You will not be comfortable watching him. That discomfort is the point, and it is some of his best work. We also need to give Matthew Patrick Davis credit for what he does as the mother. A physically demanding performance buried under hours of prosthetics and makeup. He brings depth and real tragedy to a role that could have been pure shock value. The physicality is unsettling, but there is a hint of something human under the horror that remains after the film ends. Every layer of the story connects back to the same idea: violation and who has to live with it. AJ faces allegations of coercing a colleague and insists he was just being persuasive. The house on Barbary Street holds a history of far worse. The Detroit setting carries its own version of that story, a once thriving neighborhood stripped of resources and abandoned while the people still living there go ignored. Cregger draws clear parallels between these forms of harm. The film asks you to see the connection between the monstrous history underground, AJ's entitled refusal to accept responsibility, and even Keith's well-meaning behavior that keeps pushing past Tess's discomfort. They are not the same level of harm, but they exist on the same spectrum, taking what you want without real consent, whether that is someone's body, someone's boundaries, or someone's community. That thread runs through every act. It never announces itself, it just sits there. The title carries that same weight. Barbarian describes every form of civilized cruelty this film puts on screen. That is a lot for a horror movie to carry. Does it all hold together? Mostly yes. The way Cregger shoots this movie is doing serious work. Upstairs, the camera is controlled and almost invisible. The moment the story goes underground, everything changes. Wider lenses, faster movement, angles that feel just slightly wrong. The two halves of this house are shot like two different directors handed it off at the basement door. And you feel that shift in your body before you process why. And here is the thing that floored us. Cregger built the entire Detroit neighborhood from scratch in Bulgaria. You would never guess it. That is the level of commitment behind this production. The final act is where the film gives back a little ground. It leans into spectacle over character, and a few moments go further than even we needed them to. Those are real knocks. And yet, Barbarian earned about $45 million worldwide on roughly a $4 million budget. It opened at number 1. It did all of that on almost no marketing because the studio knew the less you knew going in, the better it would work on you. That instinct was correct. Cregger delivered exactly what this film needed to be. We are giving Barbarian 4 out of 5 stars. If you are tired of predictable horror that plays it safe, this is the one you have been waiting for. If you need consistent tone from first frame to last, you will have a great first 40 minutes and a complicated rest of your evening. We think the full ride is worth it. Did Barbarian hit for you? Drop your take in the comments. If you want the full story, every twist, every reveal, the ending explained, we have a complete recap of Barbarian on the channel. You can find it after this video. But that is all for now, movie lovers. Until next time.
Shit, I've been living in this place more than 15 years, and she ain't never came in this motherfucker.